Hey there, and welcome to the Contentment Creator Podcast, the show designed especially for creative entrepreneurs just like you who are committed to a beautiful life that's rooted in courage and contentment, and that's blooming with creativity and prosperity. I'm your host, Ellen Broin, a certified life coach, a singer, a mother, and a lover of alliteration, dogs, and deep conversation. This show is designed to become a part of your daily routine to help you, fellow contentment creator, dig deep, to clarify your life vision, catalyze your creative flow, and fuel your entrepreneurial fire in just a few inspiring minutes each day. Each Thursday, we talk about consistency, and today's episode is all about embracing messy beginnings and procrastination as part of our process to consistency. Often, when we talk about consistency, the conversation takes us right to the middle of the process, the maintenance, the continuity of a habit. But less often do we acknowledge the creation of consistency, the art of starting. Because starting, it's messy, it's awkward, it's never as smooth or effortless as we want it to be. And for those of us who identify as creatives, entrepreneurs, or just people who like to be really good at what we do, that first step can feel like stepping into quicksand. Not because we don't want to start, but because we don't want to start poorly. We tell ourselves we need more time, more preparation, more clarity before we can begin. And sure, sometimes that's resistance. Sometimes it's self-sabotage. But what if sometimes it's just part of the process? For years, I told myself that procrastination was a bad habit I needed to break, that I just needed to get better at diving in. And on the whole, practicing starting imperfectly is absolutely an empowering and worthwhile endeavor. But also, the more I've learned about my own creative process, the more I've realized something. Procrastination isn't always a problem. Sometimes it's part of the way creativity moves through us. Take this podcast, for example. Flow is everything for me when it comes to this. At the end of the day, this isn't some strategy to funnel you into a course or pitch you something. This is just me showing up, sharing, serving, and creating as a practice. And let me tell you, there are weeks where starting feels like pulling teeth. Weeks where I sit in front of my mic, staring at the blinking cursor, wondering why I can't just begin. And then there are weeks where the episode practically writes itself in my head at 3 a.m. while I'm just trying to go to the bathroom in peace. That's the paradox of starting. Sometimes it's effortless. Other times it's excruciating. And part of embracing our process is making peace with both. So, what if we stopped treating procrastination like a personal failure and instead got curious about the role that it plays in our process? Sometimes the waiting period before we start is actually an incubation phase. Our brain is working things out beneath the surface. The delay doesn't mean we're stuck, it means something's still unfolding. Other times, the resistance is about fear. Fear of starting imperfectly, fear of not doing it right, fear of putting something into motion that we can't control. And that's where we get to practice something radical. Starting anyway. Not starting when we feel perfectly prepared. Not starting after we've cleaned up all the messiness. But starting in the middle of the uncertainty. Because here's the truth. The beginning is supposed to be awkward. It's supposed to be clunky. It's supposed to feel a little like stumbling into a dark room, hands outstretched, trying to find the light switch. And yet, we convince ourselves that we should just be able to start with ease, coordination, and wisdom we haven't yet gained. But think about anything you've ever learned in life. The first time you rode a bike, the first time you tried to cook a meal from scratch, the first time you had a conversation in a new language with another human. It wasn't smooth, and it wasn't effortless. And yet, you still figured it out. So, why do we expect ourselves to be fully competent before we begin? Why do we assume that hesitation means something is wrong rather than just being part of the process? The art of starting isn't about finding a perfect entry point. It's about allowing ourselves to enter wherever, however, in whatever state we're in. So if you've been stuck, waiting for the right moment, this is your permission slip to just begin in the mess. Begin with the uncertainty present. Begin with the doubts and the fears still sitting next to you. Bear witness to your process. Trust in your process. Thank you for being here with me today. Join me here tomorrow to talk about the deep transformation that occurs in life's slower seasons and how to embrace the cocoon. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share the love by sending it to someone you know it would support and by leaving reviews and comments. It would truly mean the world to me to hear from you and to support those you care about. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a day and join me in my mission to help a world full of content creators become a world of contentment creators.